Welcome back, friends. This is our February 25 monthly What's Sold video. You see, I'm trying a new background here. I'm just getting started. I'm just trying it out. This is just like a little corner. Maybe fellas farther back. You know, I might be able to move this table where I'm like a little farther back. I don't know. Well, that's for another time. But I'm working on it. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll put the screenshots over here on this side. Okay, so I tried to get all of the numbers correct on here, and just keep in mind whatever amount you see on the screenshot, that's the correct amount. Okay, the first thing sold on the 2nd of the month, and that is that Calvin Klein white top. Remember the one that had like the stripes on the outside? It was like 2 layers and it had the stripes. Okay, that was a size extra large, and that went to Lars in the state of NJ, and that was promoted, and item number 3962, and that sold for $12. Okay, I've got my water over here. I need to drink some water, and I'll talk about this a little more. Gosh, I can't open the water. Okay, so I've written down all of the ones that were sold by way of being promoted, or that I was charged a promotional fee for. So that's what that means. Everything in my shop is promoted at 5% or more, except maybe some jewelry and some older items. But everything is promoted. But when I say it's promoted, what I mean is it was sold by way of being promoted, and I was charged a promotional fee. Okay. So the second thing sold on the 2nd of the month as well, and that is BCG Nike shorts. And thank you for the positive feedback. Wendell, who was in the state of Alabama, AL, size 7-8. Oh, these may have been child size. I'm not sure. We'll see. Okay, item number 4378, and that sold for $16.58, which was probably a coupon. Okay, the next thing, 3 things sold on the 2nd of the month. Nice. This is a Mickey Mouse books, a set of Mickey Mouse books, probably. Okay, this went to Abraham in the state of California. Item number 744. So we had those a very long time. Excuse me, I'm having all kinds of problems. And those sold for $26. Okay. The next thing, we have 4 things that sold on the 4th of the month. So this is the 4th of the month. Onyx and Rose quartz earrings. Oh, there's some earrings that I sold. This went to Dennis in Texas. Item number 589, and those sold for $14. Why can't I talk? I was doing fine before I started the video. Most of the earrings do sell for $14, if not more. The lowest I'll go on earrings is usually $14. Because my average cost of goods on earrings, once I acquire all the parts, is about $5. So average cost of goods on earrings is about $5. So I try not to go under $40 on those. You know, or, as well as any other jewelry item that I sell. Okay. The next thing sold also on the 14th of the month, and that is a Karen Scott blouse. Thank you for the positive feedback. Trisha, who was in Texas, size extra large, item number 4465, and that sold for $12. Okay, the next thing sold on the 4th of the month, and that is Superior Uniform Scrub Blue. Item number 2324. Thank you for the positive feedback. Brandy, who's in the state of Florida. That was a size 4XL. That was promoted, and that sold for $10. Okay. This also sold on the 4th of the month, and this is Rebecca Malone Blouse Black. Item number 3574. Went to NJ, that was in the state of Texas, size 1X. That was promoted, and that sold for $11.60. Am I in the way of the screenshots? Okay, the next thing sold, we have two things that sold on the 6th of the month. The first thing is the blue Crobo earrings, another set of earrings that I made, the African Crobo earrings. I tried to match up, I tried to make sets of two, as many as I could that matched as well as I could match them. Okay, thank you for the positive feedback, Amanda, who was in the state of CO. Item number, what is wrong with me? Item number 261. And those sold for $14. Like I said, most of my earrings do go for $14. Okay, the next thing sold on the 6th of the month, and that is an American Eagle dress. That went to Lee in the state of NC, size 4. Item number 3190, and that sold for $14.80. Okay, the next thing sold on the 8th of the month. Oh, another set of earrings. Okay, onyx and green pearl earrings. And thank you for the positive feedback, Billy, who was in the state of VA. Item number 229, and those sold for $12. These had onyx and green pearls. That's why I let them go for a little bit less. I believe these are the ones that had the black spinners, but that's fine. that's fine with me. I probably did that because I wasn't having any sales. Okay, the next thing sold on the 9th of the month, and this is a BCG Pink Girls Hoodie, size 7. This went to Judy in the state of LA, Louisiana. 4317 item number, and this was promoted, and this sold for $13.12. Okay, the next thing also sold on the 9th of the month, and this is Love Monster Book. Okay, this went to Maribel in the state of California, item number 4297, and this was promoted. However much I paid for shipping, the post office came back and added, why can I not talk? Came back and added another $5. So whatever I paid, they charged me an extra $5 for shipping on this book. And this sold for $14.78, which was probably a coupon. This was something that was donated to me by by my daughter. What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Okay, Love Monster Book. This was promoted and sold on a coupon. Yes, it was donated to me by my daughter, I believe. Okay. The next thing sold on the 10th of the month, and this is a heart card charm. Oh, thank you for the positive feedback, Mary, who was in AZ, Arizona. Item number 457. And this sold for $14. This is something that I also made. And there's that $14 again. So this is 4 or 5 jewelry items I sold this month. That's awesome. That's really awesome. Okay. The next thing I have here is sold on the 11th, and it is a Wolf Krill wood blocks. It's the big wooden blocks that are decorative. Not to play with, they're decorative. I got these for $3 at a garage sale, but I hadn't listed them because they were big and hard to list. But a couple of months ago, 2 or 3 months ago, I forced myself to list a bunch of big things that were hard to list, and that was one of them. And it sold within probably a week or two of being listed. Okay, and that went to Brian in the state of DE, item number 4433, and that was promoted, and that sold for $21.81. They were the big and heavy, big heavy box. Okay. The next thing sold on the 14th of the month, and this is a Karen Scott blouse, pink paisley. It might be the pink paisley t-shirt, but you'll see these. I think this is the last one that I have, but I always pick these up because they always sell, and it's just crazy to me, but it is what it is, and it works, so I won't mess with that. Okay, pink paisley. Thank you for the positive feedback. Babs, who was in the state of Texas, size 3X. The size also has something to do with it. Okay, and that sold for $12. Okay, the next thing sold on the 16th of the month, and this is a Kings Road jacket, size medium blue. Thank you, Matt, who this was an international order. Oh, it was one of those like golf jackets. It's a thin, unlayered jacket. You'll see the screenshot. Okay, that was promoted, and that sold for $16. Okay, the next thing also sold on the 16th of the month, and that is Lila Jack Lovey Green Elephant. Okay, that went to Andres in Florida, item number 3027, and that sold for $14.80. I found that that brand, the Lila and Jack, on the Loveys, will sell immediately. Maybe not immediately, but before the rest of the Loveys. That brand, they may not look like much, but that brand of Loveys will sell. I've had 2 of the same brand. One's Elephant, obviously, but there was another one that also sold within the same time frame. I got it at different places at different times, but they sold in the same 2 or 3 months. They sold. Okay, so that's a good brand for Loveys, is the Lila and Jack. That's what I found. Okay, now the next one sold on the 17th of the month, and this is a beige shirt with butterflies. This sold to Jacqueline in Texas, and the item number is 1275, and that sold for $13.20. Okay. The next thing sold on the 18th of the month, and this is a pink top girl set, size 7/8. That must have been the granddaughter's. That went to Roxanne in the state of IA. Item number 3324. This was promoted and it sold for $10. So 2 shirts for $10. I must have been desperate for sales. Okay. The next thing also sold on the 18th of the month, and this is an Animal Adventure Blue Lamb. Okay. This went to Paige in the state of Florida. I think this was one of my bolos that I've had for a while. Well, not for a while, but that I've had for a while. Which I think this originally comped out around 30-40 bucks, but it didn't sell for that much. Okay, this is item number 3657, and this was promoted, and it sold for $22.80, probably a coupon. Okay, 3 things sold on the 23rd. This is the first one. Abbott Volu feed bottles. They were, oh, I remember. There were the bottles that I found at the Value Village on Shepherd Durham, that I got for 90 cents, or half of that they had half off that day. And that was like one of the things that I bought that day. So that makes back all the money that I spent that day, which was like $5. But anyway, okay. These went to Kelly in Florida. You know, that's what I'm telling you about, like medical supplies. Anything that looks like a medical supply that's new in a package. There you go. Okay. Item number 4225, and this was promoted, and it sold for $14.74. I hope I'm leaving space for the screenshots. Okay. This also sold on the 23rd of the month. This is Chinese porcelain teacup with lid. This went to Lila in the state of AZ. Item number 225. The last one was 4225, and this is 225. This was promoted, and it went for $23.75. Okay, the next thing also sold on the 23rd of the month. This is Clark's sandals. Either I bought this at a thrift store or my mom gave them to me. I don't know. Probably my mom gave them to me. Don't know. Okay. Size 8. Thank you for the positive feedback, Sandra, who was in the state of Florida. Item number 3552. This was promoted, and they sold for $13.51, and that was a coupon. Okay. I don't usually like to go that low on shoes, but I have a couple of times recently. Okay, the next thing sold on the 24th of the month, and that is Columbia Shorts Cargo Beige. This went to Amy in the state of OR. Size 6P, item number 2245, and those sold for $14. Okay, the next thing, I have 4 things that sold on the 24th. The next is Justice Pants Girls. These were probably the granddaughters. They might have been new, I'm not sure. Let's see the screenshot. Thank you for the positive feedback, Alan, who was in the state of MN. Item number 3551. This was promoted, and they sold for $16.50. Or that may have been the asking price. I'm not sure. Okay. This also sold on the 24th of the month. Pink dress, Eleanor Rose. Thank you for the positive feedback, Marie, who was in the state of DC. Item number 4454, and this was promoted, and it sold for $16. Okay, you'll see the screenshot. I'm not 100% sure. Okay. The next thing also sold on the 24th of the month. This is Exhilaration blouse, green with horses. Oh, I remember that. It was like a dark green, and it had blue horses. So cute. Or white? I think blue. Okay. This one to Barbara in the state of MD. Item number 4039, and it sold for $18.48, which may have been the asking price. Okay, the next thing sold on the 25th of the month, And this is American Eagle Purse Brown Fringe. Okay, thank you for the positive feedback, Emma, who was in the state of NY. Item number 3659. It says it sold for $18. Anything fringe purses are doing well for me right now. I've sold, I think, 3. Okay. The next thing sold on the 26th of the month, and this is Spoon River Book. Went to Ellen in Texas, item number 3058, and it sold for $14. Okay, this is a last item. It sold for $26 on the 26th of the month. Marona sweater, size small. This was promoted. It went to Kelly in the state of Ohio. Item number 2894, and it sold for $12. Okay, so 7 of these items were donated, or that's what I've calculated when I did this. 7 orders were donated. We had 30 total orders, 1 international sale, 14 promoted. So out of 30, 14 were promoted. That's half. Okay. I usually figure that it's about 80%, but here it's 50%. So that's good. And it looks like I sold about 5 jewelry items. I need to go back and count that up and write that on here. But it looks like 5 of these were jewelry items, and I don't usually sell that many jewelry items. So maybe because it was February, people are buying Valentine's gifts, Valentine's gifts in the form of jewelry, earrings. So, and a heart locket. And earrings. 5 of these were jewelry items, at least 5. So that's really good. That's really nice to see those going out. Okay, so I guess you want to know. I guess you want to know the total amount that we sold, right? That's why you're here, right? Okay. The total amount of all of the numbers that I told you, the sales amounts I told you, came out to $451.47. So that's really good. That's really good. We're going up. As the months are going by, we are going up in that amount. Let's see. Let's pull out January and see what we did. Yes, we are up from January, February, January, December. December was really bad. Fourth quarter is not for me what it is for everyone else. I only made $200, and I didn't even get $200 in December. That was trouble. Okay, we're not gonna go back. We're gonna go forward. Okay, so in January we did not do good. February is where we started doing better. So that is going in my makeshift folder, and the February sales report is done. Okay. Now keep in mind I'm paying $60 for my store fee and promoted fees and all other kinds of mess. But I set up my the table is here. I set up my listing station over here, not on the table. It's down lower, so it's a little bit easier to do, and I'm not really having to bend over, but I'm not having to stand on my tiptoes to try and see what I'm doing, which I was having to do with my table is high. So I'm listing over here, so that's making it faster for me. So I have been listing more things, and now I'm listing all of these little small things, and I have another bag over here somewhere full of small things I need to list. So I think I'm going to get all of that done. I've got the thing set up. Maybe I can show you. I've got the back sitting up. Can you see? I've got the back sitting up right now so I can do the listings. And so I'm going to list everything that I need to list with that back sitting up like that. So what do y'all think of this? What do y'all think of the items sitting up there? I mean, a lot of resellers that you see on YouTube do that. And you see Kevin has his things strategically placed, and a lot of people do that and you just don't notice it. And Rebel has a wall behind her. That stuff is not for sale, but I want a wall like that, but all my stuff is for sale. I don't want to display anything that is not listed. I want to display things that are listed. But y'all let me know down in the comment section, what do you think about the items? I mean, I just grabbed, you know, whatever I could find that was around me that would fit in those little places that could stand up. So I got a movie and some books, some coasters, you know, different things, but just things that could stand up. And I have this potpourri jar and this vase here. What's the name of that vase? I thought I would remember, but I'm not remembering right now. But that's a nice vase, black lacquer vase. Anyway, let me know what you think about the items that I have around here. I was thinking about putting like breakable items like mugs and things, but you know, whatever can fit. And as these items sell, I'll put other things up there that are probably the same size or something. And I want to put a third item right there. But I have this angel over here. I was thinking about putting that angel over there, but as soon as I finish the video, I'm gonna move the items because I don't want those breakable items sitting up. Well, the wood's not breakable, but sitting up there on top of the bread box, and I'm gonna move the bread box back to where it goes. Okay, well, I guess that's all I have here right now. Let me know what you think. We'll see you the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.